Presidential Executive Order, Preserving and Protecting the Integrity of American Elections. March 25, 2025. Purpose and Policy, Section 1. The executive order criticizes current U.S. election practices as inconsistent, insecure, and vulnerable to fraud, especially when compared to practices in other developed nations. It asserts the U.S. lacks basic election safeguards like biometric voter ID or paper ballot-only systems used in countries like Germany, India, Brazil, and Sweden. Mass mail-in voting, late arriving ballots, and lack of citizenship verification are seen as compromising election integrity. The current patchwork of state-run election procedures results in fraud, errors, and public distrust. The right of U.S. citizens to have their votes counted without illegal dilution is a core constitutional value. Policy goals: enforce federal laws mandating a single election day, prevent non-citizens from registering or voting, standardize and secure voting systems, promote voter-verifiable paper records, protect the integrity of federal funding and data systems, enforcing citizenship requirements. Section 2. Voter registration verification. The Election Assistance Commission, EAC, must revise the National Male Voter Registration Form to require documentary proof of U.S. citizenship. Documentation details recorded by election officials, e.g., ID numbers, issuing agency. Acceptable documents include U.S. passport, real ID compliant ID showing citizenship, military ID indicating citizenship, other government-issued IDs that confirm citizenship. Federal and state cooperation. DHS and State Department must share immigration and citizenship data with state election officials. Federal agencies must help verify citizenship status of voters and applicants. Department of Justice and Department of Homeland Security will identify and prosecute non-citizens who register or vote unlawfully. Public assistance agencies must verify citizenship before distributing registration forms. Assistance to states. Verifying voter eligibility. Section 3. Social Security Administration, SSA, must provide states access to SSN verification services. Death Master File. Department of Justice will ensure compliance with voter list maintenance laws. Department of Defense must revise military overseas voter forms to require proof of U.S. citizenship, proof of voting eligibility in their home state. Reforming the Election Assistance Commission, EAC, Section 4. Enforcement and funding. The EAC must stop funding states that don't comply with laws requiring use of the National Voter Registration Form, fail to meet citizenship verification standards, must revise the Voluntary Voting System Guidelines, VVSG 2.0, to require voter-verifiable paper records. Ban use of barcodes or QR codes to record votes, except for disability access. Voting system recertification. Within 180 days, the EAC must recertify voting systems under the new guidelines, rescind certifications under outdated standards. Audits and security grants. EAC must audit HELP, America Vote, Act HAVA, fund usage, and refer violations to DOJ. DHS and FEMA must prioritize grant funding for states compliant with the new voting system standards and that use federally tested equipment. Prosecuting election crimes. Section 5. DOJ responsibilities. Enter into information sharing agreements with states to investigate and prosecute ineligible registrations or multiple registrations, election fraud or false registrations, voter intimidation, any unlawful interference. If states refuse to cooperate, DOJ must prioritize election law enforcement in those states, consider withholding federal grants, subject to legal limits. DOJ must align its litigation strategy with the policies of this order. Voting system security. Section 6. DHS and DOJ must prevent non-citizens from accessing voting machines or ballots, participating in election administration. DHS and EAC will audit internet-connected systems for vulnerabilities like malware, unauthorized intrusions, enforcing Uniform Federal Election Day. Section 7. DOJ will enforce 2 U.S.C. Section 7 and 3 U.S.C. Section 1, which set a single day for casting and receiving votes in federal elections. Ballots received after Election Day, excluding military overseas votes, must not be counted. EAC will condition federal election funding on state compliance with uniform vote counting deadlines, clear and fair standards defining what constitutes a vote, preventing foreign influence, Section 8. Department of Justice and Treasury must prioritize enforcement of campaign finance laws, e.g., 52 U.S.C. Section 3121. Prevent foreign nationals from contributing or spending in U.S. elections. Enforce bans on lobbying by entities receiving federal funds, 31 U.S.C. Section 1352. Rescinding Executive Order 14,019, Section 9. Executive Order 14,019, Biden's order on expanding voter access, was revoked by Executive Order 14,148. All agencies must cease actions implementing Executive Order 14019. Within 90 days, agencies must report on their compliance with this directive. Summary takeaways. The order represents a sweeping federal effort to enforce citizenship requirements for voting, mandate Election Day only vote receipt deadlines, standardize and secure voting systems, increase criminal enforcement of election laws, restrict foreign money and influence. States that do not comply may face loss of funding, heightened federal enforcement, and rejection of voting equipment certifications. Subscribe for more!